Hello, guys. This is Pinkie, the housewife, and I'm coming to you tonight with some breaking news. Um, I received it. I got this news. I think right before I did my live, or right after my live. I think no, right after my live. I think it was. But anyway, um, we're going to be talking about Angela Stone. An update on Angela Stone. You know, she's the Grammy nominated singer, um, everything. Everybody knows who Angela Stone is, okay? And I've done so many reports on her passing since. So if you have any questions, you can go back to my previous videos that I did in live. Let me get started with the house rules first. Let me welcome everybody to the Pink House. Thank you for being here. And if you can, go ahead and hit that like button so I can stay in the algorithm. And that also to help me out and it doesn't cost anything. And subscribe to the channel. Let me go ahead and thank you for doing those few things, guys. Now, let me just say this. Um, I do want to put a trigger warning because I'm not sure who's going to be affected by this. But Angela Stone, her autopsy report her autopsy report is in. Uh, I just heard about it today, which is the 20th, okay? May 20th. And the details are horrible. It's a tragic, horrible death. That's all I can say. Now, there's been speculations of so many ways that this unfortunately, death occurred. Okay? Let me just say everything is alleged. This is my opinion only. In this video is for educational and entertainment purposes. But this is a serious situation. He died on May 1st. Not May 1st, March. March 1st. Let me just put it up here so you all can see when she passed away. Oh, that's, let me give the date. Okay, let me see. Here it is. March 1st, 2025. Okay? She passed away at the age of 63, but I'm not going to get into all of that. At one point, this was my thumbnail. I had it, where did she die? Was a foul play. All the lines, the van, the 18-wheeler. We've been waiting on the autopsy, the driver of that van, plus that sprinter van in the 18-wheeler. You know, nobody was held accountable for her passing. No one. If they have, nobody made any report of it. Only thing that we was getting is this woman here. You know, I can see the van in the bottom, the sprinter. You see sprinter van down at the bottom. But the only person that was making a big deal is this woman here. Where did she go? I used to remember her name. I just call her the woman now. Some people call her Pillsbury. I don't know. But anyway, she said she tried to help Angie Stone and others at the accident scene before Angela passed away. And she had mentioned that she helped Angela to get out of the van. He took her over to the side of the road and placed her on the side of the road to have her to sit down there. And she was calling her all these names like honey or sweetie or in very nice words trying to help her. And ma'am or something. But anyway, she sat her down she said she helped her to sit down on the side of the road. All that grassy area and cars zooming by. Why would you sit her down on the side of the road? Didn't make no sense to me. And you got your, and And if you shot her down at the side of the road, and before you knew it, the 18-wheeler zoomed by and hit Angela, but you're right there with her, but only you just got forced, a big wind or something forced you out of the way, and you got bruises. You got a hurt shoulder. You were saying right shoulder, but you was holding your left shoulder and you was pointing at it. So I don't know whether that was a made up story or what, but you soon put this up on your social media account, and you soon took it down right after. I guess right after you took a shower, because you said you had all this glass all over you. But I don't know where the glass come from. But I don't know why a big 18-wheeler, if it took Angie away, you wouldn't see Angie. Every body parts all over the place. So how could they have a funeral with an intact Angie laying peacefully in a casket? Then that don't make no sense. And then there was another story that Angie, well, I'm not going to get into all, we had like 4 or 5 different stories. I'm not going to get into all those. But let me just show. This is the van, the Mercedes Sprinter van that Angela was in. At one point, they even said she projectile through the windshield and was hung up in the windshield. But there's no blood there. Okay. And they said she was hit by this CRST 18-wheeler. But if you look at it, that 18-wheeler is damaged on which side? The driver's side. Okay? What side is this truck? The Sprinter damaged on the driver's side. How can these two collide unless they was on a road that was going where you got 2 traffic on the same road, going coming one way and going the other way, whatever you would call it. But no, there's a big grassy median with traffic for each direction. So I don't know how that happened. Somebody was driving on the wrong side of the road, I guess. I don't know. They're coming down the wrong direction on the road. That's a mystery to me too. But we haven't heard of this guy. Where is he now? No charges have been. We haven't seen no charges. Nobody in jail. No news conference. No press conference. No nothing. Nobody is talking about it. It's almost like there never was an accident. And if it wasn't for the people on social media, it was like Angela never. That she's still walking around in her house somewhere alive. Go figure. Okay? Go figure. I have no idea. Angela, we try. People on social media is the only one trying to solve the crime. You're there. But anyway, let me get to the thing here. Let me just get to something for you. I got the autopsy report, but we got to know something about it. Okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play this. It's only, when I say play this, it's only, it's barely, it's just a minute and 47 seconds. Okay? This is a mystery to me. It's a mystery to everybody. Okay? Just watch and let's see what we can do. This is by KHOU 11. It will be down in my description box below my video. Okay, this is the memorial, the funeral service or the memorial service held for the Grammy-nominated R&B singer Angie Stone. This was back on May 14th of 2025. March. I don't know why I want to say May because we're in May, but this is March 14th. She died on May 1st. So May 14th, this is when they hold the funeral. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and let you all watch. All right. Let's see.
We talked about.
Oh, wait. Let me take this thumbnail down. I'm so sorry about that, guys.
We talked about so many things that we would do together. We built a house together, no matter what it looked like. You love me and I love you. And that's all that's important to me.
To lead you the way we've all been journeying to a special place.
We have been the best of friends, and I thank God for her. She would call me in the wee hours, and I would be up. And she would just pray with me and encourage me. She would come and bring stuff for my kids. Like, she was so beautiful. No matter what may come my way.
Thank y'all for singing with us.
This woman sold good things to people. She sold kindness to people. She sold joy to people. She sold love and her voice to people.
She, like people loved her music, but now, in our past, and I'm seeing she was like more of a spirit. She was like an angel. She's like a tree. She planted roots in the ground. And
R&B singer Angie Stone has died in a car crash. We're told she had just finished a concert in Mobile, Alabama Friday, was heading to Atlanta when the van she was riding in crashed. It's still not clear why they crashed or how the other people in the van are doing. The Grammy-nominated artist was known for songs like Wish I Didn't Miss You and No More Rain. She was also a member of the female hip-hop trio The Sequence. Angie Stone was 63 years old.
Well, tonight, musicians in Alabama and across the country are remembering Grammy-nominated singer Angie Stone.
Yeah, many fans miss her. The R&B artist was killed in a traffic accident just south of Montgomery Saturday morning. CBS 42's Ryan Hall is covering the story.
Angie Stone had just performed in Mobile when she lost her life on Saturday morning. At 63, artist and actor say she leaves behind more than just her gift.
There's no hiding place when someone has hurt you.
Recording artist Angie Stone was killed when the van she was riding in overturned in the median. It happened here on I-65 in the Hope Hole community. Reactions to her death were numerous. On X, Jamie Foxx says Stone will be missed, quote, painfully. In Montgomery, groups are also mourning her loss. Terrence Baldwin is the leader of Sold Out Groove. He says Stone shaped the sound of his band of 21 years.
Even the people who enjoy music, it's a sacrifice being on that road, and, it's not guaranteed that we can make it back to our families. So I think people can gain a different respect for what we do.
He says Sold Out Groove will be honoring her.
It's a shame that it takes people to pass before we see it, but it's beautiful to see how the world is coming together and kind of embrace her memory.
Radio personalities are also sharing their condolences. Ashley Milan with Magic 97.1 in Montgomery says she influenced many up-and-coming artists.
Music never dies, so Angie Stone will always live on in everyone's hearts, especially artists that are still up and coming. She left an imprint in music, and her legacy will always live on.
Milan says Stone's impact transcends her music.
And R&B as well as hip hop and neo soul, the work ethic, the passion that she had for her music and her fans is something that the artists and her fans we saw in her.
The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency says the crash is an active and ongoing investigation. In Montgomery, Ryan Hall, CBS 42 News.
Now, let me just say this. If that was the case, if it was still an ongoing investigation, why we haven't seen nothing about it? Why they don't give us an update? Since that day of her passing, it's like you don't hear anything else. There's nothing to see. It's almost like there's nothing to see. There's nothing going on. I don't know about that. I just don't understand. But let me go ahead and get with the autopsy report. Let's go ahead and look at that. Okay? Let me bring that up. I just don't understand. But I would definitely say that the autopsy report did not give any answers. Did it give any answers to me? No. It's still confusing. When I say it's confusing, it is confusing as hell. I don't see any answers that it brought closure to me or anybody. But that may be just my opinion of it. Okay? But, okay, this is Angela. I keep saying Angela, but Angie Stone. So we're going to go ahead and look at the autopsy report. And you see she passed. It's just, this is a thumbnail I get during the time when she had passed. March 1st. Okay. Now, this is the toxicology report here. You can see it here. It's Alabama Department of Forensic Science. And it case initial date, if you look over to the right hand side, it says 3/1/2025. That's the initial date of her tragic accident. Okay? And some people is not calling it an accident. They just say it's straight out unaliving her. Like the M word. Yeah, straight out unaliving her. Or it was a hit or something. People are saying, I'm not saying that, I'm just telling you what I heard it. And it's allegedly. Some people are saying that it wasn't an accident. This was a hit. This was because she spoke out. And then 2 weeks later, she's gone. That's what people are saying. Okay. But then you see the start date, which is April 1st, 2025. And then the report date is April 5th, 2025. Okay? And you're going to hear something kind of disturbing. It's because it's disturbing to me too. Okay? Now, this is the report of the autopsy report. And you see the date, March 3rd, 2025, time 06:17 hours. And you can see her name over on the left-hand side where it says Angie Stone. County of death is Montgomery. Date of death, March 1st, 2025. She was age 63. Race B stands for blacks. SEX stands for female. The length is 63 inches. Weight is 160 pounds. Okay. And she did have lost, because if you look at her last performance, she had lost a lot of weight, you know. Okay. Here, I want you all to look at this. You see how I got it in that blue or lavender color or purple, pretty purple. But anyway, on here, on here, you all can see where it say where it says C. Dense adhesives of both pearl cavities. History of diabetes and melodis. Okay, it got the cause of death, and that's why I put it in a beautiful lavender color, or purple. Some men may just call it purple. I like purple, but it's a traumatic asphyxiation. Traumatic asphyxia, or some people say asphyxia. Okay, but anyway, it was traumatic. And when I hear that, I think of somebody that can't breathe, then choked to death, or can't breathe, or struggling to breathe, or oxygen is cut off or something. That's what I think of. And y'all gonna be shocked when you hear where she was. And most people thought she was gonna be in a hotel, strangled, unalived in a hotel by hands around her neck. And then 2 hours lost with the victim because they had to go get the body and place it at the scene of the crime. And then somebody said, no, report was going out. She went through the windshield. After the van flipped several times. If I want to say 3 times, but it could be more or less, but flipped. And then it got hit by the 18-wheeler, and she got ejected through the windshield of the front windshield. Everybody came out okay but her. They had 2 different reports out. 2 different reports. This thing is getting crazy by the day. 2 different reports. Let me, I'll pull up those reports in just a minute. But anyway, okay, the cause of death, we already read that. It was a traumatic asphyxia, okay? Contributor. I guess these are factors that contribute to it. Blunt force injury. And you see that down at the bottom where it says evidence of injury, blunt force injuries, blunt force. That means bam, something had to hit you with power, force. Was that the 18-wheeler that the white woman said that hit her on the side of the road? If an 18-wheeler hit a car, it can rip that car in pieces. It can have the wheels of it way over there and the motor somewhere else. It'd be smashed up to smithereens. But if the woman said she put her on the outside, helped her get out of the van, and she was walking and talking, then you put her on the side of the road. If an 18-wheeler would have hit you, you've been like shredded meat. You probably won't even stand. You'd be wrapped up in the wheels. But so how did the 18-wheeler hit the van after it flipped over, then hit the van, and then hit Angie? Don't make no sense. I tell you. But anyway, some of the contributors are blunt force injury of the torso. Torso is your, right up under your neck and right before your pelvis, right at the end of your stomach, bottom of your stomach. That's your torso. Unless I'm wrong. Hypertension. Isn't hypertension? I don't know. But isn't that high blood pressure? I don't know because I don't have it, but I think that's what it means. Hypertension is high blood pressure. Okay? And then the next one is the autorosa rodic, rodic, autorosa rodic. I hope I pronounced that right. I gave it my best shot. Okay. And then your cardiovascular disease. Okay. That means you got something. Most people live with that for years. That means you got heart problems or disease of the heart, or it could be too much fat in your diet, or clogged arteries or something. I don't know. I don't deal with that. But, and it was too late for me to go looking all this up. But I will do a recap on it. But not tonight. I just want to get it out there that the toxicology and the autopsy report was back today, was released today. Okay, and it's late, so we just be happy. I'm letting you know this part. Okay, not a death. It's accident. A lot of people got a. That's why that's highlighted in purple. That's beautiful lavender, because a lot of people got a problem with that. They don't think it was an accident. Some people say an accident. Some people say it was a hit. Some people say she was a target. Some people say they came and got her to do her in. Some people say that she was strangled in the hotel and brought to the scene. The white woman said she got out walking. She helped her out of the van and put her to the side of the road where the big 18-wheeler hit her. And through her, the white woman went flying backwards. And then she got all injured, all on her right side, but she was pointing to her left side, rubbing it. I guess she forgot which side it was. And then she said she got all this glass and she was going to take a shower. And then she did a second video after that, talking about it. But then it got taken down. She took it down. And then after that, we haven't heard from her. She just disappeared. Yeah. I got her name, but I can't remember what it is right off top because it was a video I did 2 months ago. Okay? Evidence of entry, blunt force entry. Oh, yeah. Don't let me forget about the diabetes. She's diabetic. Yeah. And melodist. Diabetes melodist. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Right here. This is where we're getting ready to stop right now. Okay. Okay. Evidence of injury. Blunt force injuries. They got the head and the neck and the torso. Let's talk about it. And the head and the neck. They're abundant. I want to say, I want to pronounce that word. Petechia. That's what I want to call it. Petechia. Okay? If I said it a little off, petechia. Sorry about it. That's what it looks like to me. They're abundant. Petechia are the barrel bar, and conjunctive of both eyes. But there are also petechia on the oral mucosal, whatever, solar. But that's the mouth on the tongue area. And if you look at it, it almost looks what they're describing is, it looks like you got chicken pox, but blood chicken pox all up on your tongue or something, or in your mouth. you know what I mean, little balls of chicken pox of blood. And then it's saying it was in the eyes. But if it was in the eyes, that means if somebody has got their hands around your neck and you can't breathe and it's popping out like that, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, okay? So that's why I'm letting you see it yourself. That's why I'm sitting here, so you can, for these people that are in the medical field, doctors and nurses and CAs and all this here stuff, y'all can make good use of this to explain it. And then when I come back, we do a recap on it when it's not so late. Y'all can help me with that. But also the torso, B is torso. There are fractures in the interior of the fourth, fifth, and the 10th left ribs. So she had broken ribs. But if you got hit by a truck, an 18-wheeler, everybody in your bone will be broken, be smashed up. That's what the white woman said. Got hit by a truck because she helped her out. Now, unless she lying. Did somebody tell you to lie, woman? Did somebody tell you to lie? Or you just lying for your 15 minutes of fame? Which is it? But anyway, then she also had fractures, also on the 2nd through the 6th left rib. That's a lot of fractures. Okay. There's a laceration on the spleen that measures 3 inches by 1.5 inch. Approximately 200 milliliters of liquid and clotted blood. Okay, that's enough to unalive you there, in my mind, I think. And there's a laceration on the right side of her heart, ventricular of the heart, that measures 4 inch by an 8 inch. Okay, and that also had approximately 50 milliliters of liquid blood. So she was bleeding internally, from my understanding. But you got to remember, I'm not a doctor in the medical field, so I'm just giving it my opinion. Okay, let's move on. Oh, there's another big purple lavender box for you. A big, beautiful lavender box that I put here. That means something. So all that other stuff at the top, y'all can read that about the head and the neck. Because they talk about that same thing I told you about. The Pinkie eyes, okay? Pinkie in the eyes and in the mouth, okay? I guess it's on her tongue or in the mouth somewhere, but anyway. I think it's the tongue. But anyway, let's go down to the feet so we can get through it. Torso. Torso just have minor abrasions. But you get hit by a truck. You get turned over in a van, tipped over several times. I'm going to just do the scenes like all the stories that got put out. First, they said there was no casualties. Let me find that right quick. I should have had it out. But they said nobody got hurt. Nobody was unalive. Put it like that. They said nobody was unalive. Yeah, that's what they said. Not one person was unalive in the first report. Then the second report said they did have somebody unalive. Make up your mind. And then I just don't understand it. The report, how are you going to walk up to a scene and if somebody got hit by a 18-wheeler, like the white woman said, wouldn't you know whether somebody got hit? Wouldn't you know that you're supposed to put that down on the paperwork? Yeah, you would know that. I just don't understand how these things are just popping up. I'm looking for the, y'all go ahead and keep reading that, what I got up here, while I look for what I need. Okay, I'm going to bring up the 2 accidents reports, because that'll save me some time. Go ahead and read that. Okay? Just go ahead and finish reading it. By the time I get through pulling these in, y'all read through. You save me some time with all these medical difficult words. Okay, now, let's read the first one first. The first one here says, y'all see that Alabama uniform traffic crash report? You see the date, 3/1/2025. You see the time, 04:20 a.m. You see the date of the week, Saturday, County, Montgomery, City, Rural, Montgomery. You see that? Okay. And you see where it happened on I-65, intersection between I-65 and the exit ramp on Tyson Road. Okay. Now look at it, the gray boxes at the top. Look at the gray boxes. Vehicle, they got 1. Now remember this, okay? And then you see 0. Entries, this is the one that's important, was the entries, number of entries. Entered, the number entered, 9. Number of fatalities, 0. Okay? 0. Now let's look at the other one. Remember that time, 4:20 a.m. And remember, it was 1 vehicle. It was 9 injured and 0 fatalities. Now, I think if police, trained police, they can walk up on the scene and because blood would be everywhere. They would have spotted that right away. Somebody been calling me in. Our friend got ran over by the truck, but they didn't say 18-wheeler in this report. That's what I want y'all to hear. The 18-wheeler. No, it was the other van. It was the Sprinter, the black Sprinter that did it. Okay, but look at the top. 1 vehicle, 9 injuries, and 0 fatalities. Now, let's look at the second one. Ooh, there it is right there. Look at the top. How many vehicles? 2 now. How are you going to miss the big John 18-wheeler? How are you going to pull up on the scene? You don't see that big John 18-wheeler over there? White? It's white at that? Oh, no. And then you look at the number injured. Now we got 3. How you get 3? And then before, you just said it was 9. Which is it? Is it 9 or is it 3? And then for fatalities, number of fatalities, you got 1. But then you just said it was 0. You know, something is wrong. And then you look at the time, 4:25 a.m., 4:20 a.m. You mean somebody walked up on accident and said, "Sorry, you didn't get you didn't assess the scene or get stuff straight before you start." Now, I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't understand. Okay, but anyway, let's get on to this. The torso. Now, I'm bringing up this because it's very, very important. Because there's a new way that they describing her death. That accident, they call it an accident, is totally different. I haven't heard this one until tonight, until I looked at the report. I heard about 5, maybe 6 different ways, and now we got another one. And if it was 5, now we got 6. If it was 4, now we got 5. Then by tomorrow morning when I wake up, there may be a new report out. They may have a new report. I don't know. But they said this is the report. But I don't, just like the police accident report, they have to correct it, I guess. Okay. Look at that torso. I'm not going to go through this whole thing because I told y'all to be looking at it while I pull up those reports. But you see that torso, minor operation. But if you get hit by 18, what if you get, wait a minute, you're in the van and hit several times. You get thrown out the windshield. But then a white woman comes to, it'll help you out. But she didn't help you out through the windshield. She helped you out through some other way. Maybe a door, maybe a window, I don't know. But you got out walking. But she didn't say you had blood all over you. Because if you went through a windshield, you would have had that. And they didn't say you went through the windshield. You was hanging in the windshield on the hood of the car. So, but she didn't say that. She said something totally different. She said she helped you out the van and you was talking. And she was talking to you very nicely. And then she helped you and you walked by your own accord with her help over to the side of the road where she placed you on the side of the road. So if you place you on the side of the road, what happened first? Did the 18-wheeler hit the van after it flipped 3 times or several times? Hit the van then, and then you went out the windshield, but then you happen to see this white woman that helped you out another way with no blood on you, and then you walking, and then she tell you to sit on the side of the road, and then the 18-wheeler come along and hit you. But then somebody lost 2 hours of time because allegedly that you wasn't at the scene. They had to go get your body allegedly from the hotel. Because that's where somebody put their hands around your neck or somebody off you there and then that's where the missing time. And then somebody woke up in a coma, from being in a coma. One of the women on the bus don't remember nothing because she was knocked out in a coma. No, this gets stranger. But nobody is talking. Me and everybody happening after the accident saying NDAs. But then you got Luther walking around with a arrest record as tall as him. As long as him. Why is that? And he wasn't your driver. The driver was allegedly your son. that went on everywhere. But allegedly he had a birthday and they convinced him to stay home. And then let you drive with somebody you don't even know. I don't know whether this making any sense, but I'm just, okay, let's get back to it. Look at you got fractures of all these rib cage, like 4, 5, and 10 fractures on the 2nd through the 6th left rib, lacerations of the spleen, and then lacerations on the right ventricle of the heart. Oh my God. If you had all of that going on, trying to walk, it would be hard because you'd be in some pain. And I did hear that you were screaming for help. But we're going to come to that. We're going to make our way down that road. And Angela was screaming for help. But we're going to make our way down that road in just a minute. Okay? Now, the extremities. Abrasion on the right shoulder region. Abrasion on both knees. That means you must have fell down on your knees and then hit that right shoulder. I don't know. But the history of, the history of motor vehicle crash, and the descendant found pinned beneath the vehicle. That's what I was trying to get to. That's why I got it all in purple. That's why I got it with my name highlighted, so we right in that area, so we would not miss that area. That's why I put my logo right there, so I remember where it was, and put it in that lavender color of purple, beautiful purple. Because now this is another way that she was unalive. She was pinned under the vehicle. And when they say the vehicle, they're talking about the Mercedes black Sprinter van that flipped over several times. Now, how did Angela's body get pinned under that? When the white woman said she helped her to the side of the road where she got hit by an 18-wheeler, and 18-wheeler barely missed her. She escaped by a hair of a chin. Now, but she did sustain some injuries, she said. But so if she got hit by the 18-wheeler or brought to the scene after 2 hours of a fake accident, plane accident, how did she get pinned down under the Sprinter van? I'll tell you, read it again, guys. The history of the motor vehicle crash and the descendant found pinned beneath the vehicle. I don't know, but I just closed my case right there. I just closed the case because then just came up with another thing. So the big 18-wheeler is still at the record yard in the Sprinter van, but nobody is out there investigating it. It's sitting out in the elements. When they want to do the investigation, because she's a very, very high profile person. She's a nominated Grammy artist. She's a big time singer. And I love Angie, but Angie, we're trying to solve this for you. But all these natural diseases that everybody has, but they still live a wonderful life, like hypertension, cardiovascular disease. Okay, that one I just don't understand. If I could understand it, I would let you all know. But I can't understand it because that's why I'm not going to let you know. Okay? So we're going to just leave that one alone. And we're just going to go on to the next one. Okay? And what is it? Carlio, Nelly, Graffy, Nelly, not whatever, but it's 620 milligrams, or 620 grams, whatever that is. The left ventricle hypothyroidism, thoracic. I don't know, guys. These words are foreign as me. At least I do give them a try. I'm not going to just not say them. Okay? And look at number 3. That's one, a hard one in itself. But I'm going to give it my best shot, guys. Yes, I am. Neurosis. Yeah, like I said, I was going to give it my best shot. And I just did. Okay. Now let's go down. That was A. Let's go down to B. Coronary artery disease. People live with that all the time. It's not a good thing. I didn't say it was a good thing. You got to do what you're supposed to do so you don't have a heart attack. But anyway, then you got the auto attack. Then you got the erratic. And then you got the, what is it? The mesenteric. And then you got the atherosclerosis. Now, what all that means, I couldn't tell you. I'm not a doctor. I'm just putting it out here. Y'all can do some research on it. Okay? Oh, we just went over these. The Department of One Global Excellence. Okay. We already went over that. It's just in bigger writing with the seal on it. Okay. Did we just go over this one here? I don't think so. The interior examination, chest and the abdomen only. The following excludes any previous described injury. So it excludes any of that. And it talk about the what is it? The serosa cavities. That's the torso. And they're saying it was open in the usual manner when they're doing a autopsy on you, I guess. Or getting your body ready or whatever they're doing. But in the usual manner, and the chest plate is removed, except where described above, in the pleural. Okay. There are dense adhesions in both pleural cavities. All external organs are in normal position, autonomic position. So you had all that happen to you, but all your organs are in place. Okay. Let's talk about the organs of the neck. Okay, this is the interior great muscles of the neck. What is this? Red and brown without is that hemoglobin? Your thyroid cavity bones are intact. How is that? I just don't know, guys. I just don't know how some of this, that just disappeared. I had a whole thing below here. Evidence of organ tissue donation. None. But all that was below that is gone. I don't know. So I'm not going to worry about trying to put it back. It just disappeared. a whole section. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, but anyway, it gives you the right lung, weighs 620 grams, and the left 500 grams. I think we already talked about that. The pulmonary is diffusing congested, and I don't know what they're talking about, but the moderate amount of blood and the fluid on cut surface, the trachea, and the are not examined, so that part is not examined, so I'm not going to even talk about it. The pulmonary arteries are normal, developed. Isn't that something? Without any embolism. Okay. But anyway, let's get down to the next one. Okay. Oh, Lord. Let me just scan through it right quick. The liver appears to be a normal size, configuration, and consistency by inspection. The gallbladder is circularly absent. Oh, she didn't have one. She must have gallbladder surgery. Okay, the common bowel duct is unobstructed. Okay. And then your lymph nodes. And then the elect regions are unremarkable. Your endocrine system, with your pituitary glands, your thyroid glands, and all those other glands are not examined. Your gastrointestinal system, like your esophagus, your stomach, your small bowel, your colon, and all that is not inspected. The appendix is present. Okay, let's see what else. The right and left kidneys are smaller than expected in size and are remarkable in good appearance, I guess. The gallbladder is not examined. But then they say something about something was removed. The gallbladder was had surgery on it, and it was absent. So it was not examined because you didn't get one. Okay, that's what I believe to say. Okay, but let's move on. Okay, I think we just went over this. Okay, and I think I had it in here because of that bottom portion, postmortem. Now, when I think of postmortem, he had a digital radiograph of the head, chest, and the abdominal and the pelvic area to demonstrate injuries as described above without retaining metallic projectiles. Okay, done. That blunt force injuries again of the head and the neck. I think we already went over that, in that torso and the extremities. And they did exclude certain injuries. Okay? And the body is that of a well-developed, well-nourished female. Female received clothes in appearance appears older than the reported age of 63. So she looks older than 63. Okay, her body was well developed, well nourished. Female received clothes, that means she still had clothes on when she got there, and appeared older than the reported age of 60. Now, I guess when they do that, when they get your body, they, just say a lot of times when people, they don't know their age, they give a estimate of what the age should be. And they saying she looks older than 63 because they got her scared for her life. They was trying to unalive a woman before she was unalive on this date, which is March 1st. Remember, she ended up in the hospital with a blood disease by a needle. Who gave her that? Don't get me to thinking. I'll be thinking overtime. And we already talked about the abrasions on the right shoulder region and abrasions on both knee region. Okay? So on your knees, I'm expecting you fell down somehow on your knees and hit your shoulder. Fell to the right. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm thinking. That's just my opinion. But anyway, the following excludes any previous described injuries. That was certain parts of the body. So we're going to go ahead and move on for that. Oh, nope. Let's look at the condition of the body down at the bottom. Y'all see that? The condition of the body. The body is cold. That body is cold. Think about that. The body is already cold. Rigor is passing and present to an equal degree in all extremities. Okay. Okay. British. Liberty is present. Liberty is present and fixed on the posterior surface of the body, except in areas exposed to the pressure. The body is without significant decomposition and not embalmed. It should be. It shouldn't be at all because you just got the body. Okay? But the body is cold and appears older than age 63 because they're stressing the woman out. Where's her money? And she's working too hard. And that's D. We already talked about the diabetes, metallic, melodis, that cause of death. Remember, we already talked about that, the traumatic. So we already talked about this page here. So we're going to skip this one here. I think I got this in twice. Oh, no, it's external examination. The following excluding any previous described injuries. I don't think we talked about the third one, identifying marks, because we talked about B and 1 and 2, the first two paragraphs, but the one where it say identifying marks, tattoos are not on the body. She had no body tattoos. There are 2 scars on the upper left chest. Okay, upper left chest on her left side. Got me. Okay. And then on the, what is that? Autosclerosis. in the left arm and scars on both ankle region. Photographs for that, they got a demonstrate. They got photographs for that, for the documentation. Okay, now head and face. Oh Lord, the head and face. This is what I read. It's the head and face. It's the normal per salad. Head has black hair with a permanent weave. Let me read that one again. Head and face. The normal per salad. Head has black hair with a permanent weave. Okay, the next page. Okay, you know, she did not, they said organ donations, none, but I don't know. There's much stuff that's been going on around here, all these lies. They probably took every organ that they could get. And probably didn't even tell the family. Because they don't look like they, ain't saying nothing. But anyway, you never know. Because I ain't gonna say a word. They probably took every organ. That's just in my opinion. I'm just kidding, I guess. But anyway, and I think we already talked about the external examination of the chest and abdominal area. Okay, so we're going to go ahead on to the next page. That's the same page. I put it in here twice. Oh, okay. New page. Okay, new page. The eyes. Because we're going to talk. We got the eyes, the nose, the oral cavity, the ears, the neck, the chest, the abdominal. We got everything. The genitals, the upper extremities, the lower extremities. Y'all better take a good look because I'm going to go through these fast. Okay? We got all these extremities. Iliac, iliac. The iliac are brown. The corners are hazy. The ball bearer and the purple. What is this? Conjunctive have abundant, particularly lateral, and the other portion of the eyes is white. Particularly it looks like when your eyes are bloodshot. Blood is popping out through your eyes because too much pressure, or they bloodshot, or pink eye, or something like that. The red could be red from the blood in your eyes, trying to come through your eyes, or something like that. Let a medical professional tell you a little more because I'm not one. I'm just giving my personal opinion. The nose is okay because it's unremarkable. The nasal skeleton and stuff is perpendicular intact. Okay? The oral cavity. That's got the scattered, what did I say? Petiki eye. Okay? So that's in the oral cavity. Like the lips, it said lips. And I guess the tongue. Both of those are intact. The teeth. This is what I found very strange. Your teeth are normal and in good condition. But if they may be normal in good condition, but if you had just been hit and struck and flipped over and went through a windshield and hit by a truck, and now you're laying up under the sprinter van before you brought to the scene, unalive and placed at the scene, that's that 2 hour missing time. How the heck if your teeth are in, and they should have been, half of them should have been knocked out and everything. I don't know. That's why I say this is probably another lie. I'm just letting y'all know that the toxicology and the autopsy report is in. It's out. Been released. Okay? Your ears are okay. The ears are in unremarkable. The neck, the same thing. The trach is in the middle line of the neck. Your chest is unremarkable without evidence of injury. Your chest, but you got broken rib. The female breasts are without masses. Something ain't making sense here. Somebody had to tell somebody what to do with this report. This report is not making any sense. Somebody didn't know what they was doing, or they got paid to say whatever they want. That's just my opinion. That's what I'm just thinking out loud. Okay? But everything is alleged in my opinion. Your abdominal is slightly without evidence of recent trauma. If you're pinned up under the rental van, that's what they said. It's pinned. Oh my Lord. Somebody help the people that I'm gonna be quiet. The external genitals. Those of a normal adult female. Upper extremity. Symptomatic and normally formed without evidence of sufficient recent trauma. I don't know how that can happen, but if that's what they said, that's what you said. Your lower extremities, without evidence of significant recent trauma. Your toenails are unremarkable. Oh yeah, your fingernails are unremarkable. Please don't let me forget that. Some of this ain't making no sense. Some people can trip and fall and break a nail. My dog jumped on my toe and broke it just a few months ago. And we went through all this. She went through all this. Fingernails, good shape. Toenails, good shape. Your toes, in good shape. Something ain't right. Something ain't right here, guys. But y'all just, you don't take my word for it. Y'all read this yourself, okay? Just read it. And look at where they say the back and the anus. I'm not going to even say that. I'm not going to even say it. Y'all look at it. The posterior, torso, and anus are unremarkable. And tell you, I'm not going to read it. Well, I'm not going to read it no more. It ain't making no sense to me. I wish I had some clothes on so y'all can, so I could have my, didn't have my avatar up. Because y'all can see my face. My face, I'm making all kind of faces. Yes, I am. Making all kind of faces. Evidence of the oral tissue donation. Y'all, we already said it's none, but you know, them people probably took everything that they could get from her. Just seemed like she didn't have people around her that cared enough. And that daughter of hers, I ain't talking about it, but she ain't got it. She lost her mind. And I'm quite sure Michael missed his mom, but that daughter, she ain't lost her doggone mind. Did I just push? Connect me? Okay. Okay. We had already talked about the back and the ends. So I ain't talking about that no more. We talked about everything above that. The evidence of medical intervention. This part we haven't talked about. Let me ask you this. If a person got hit by an 18-wheeler and splattered all over the road, why would you be trying to get 3 electrocardiograms done on them, on their torso? That means on your chest. Do that make any sense? Or if you was unalived at the hotel and brought to the scene 2 hours later after the scene was set up, why would they be trying to do 3 electrocardiograms on you? Don't make no sense. Because they said your body was cold. When they received your body was cold. And you was pinned under the Sprinter van. Your body was pinned under the Sprinter van. And that's the first time I heard that today when I read this thing. So how the heck did you get pinned under the Sprinter van? If you got hit by the 18-wheeler, or if your body was placed at the scene, the van flipped 3 times and you went out the window, but not all the way out, where you're hanging out over the roof, on the roof through the windshield. But the white woman said when she pulled her car over, she saw the accident. She was in her car with her daughter, her 16-year-old daughter. They had just coming back from a trip to go celebrate her daughter's 16th birthday. And she pulls over to the side of the road to go help. And she sees Angela. And she started helping Angela out of the van, talking to her. So that means Angela was somewhat lucid, talking with her. She helped her out and walked her over to the side of the road, because she didn't never say nothing about carrying her. She walked her over to the side of the road and told her in a nice voice to sit there. So until she can go help other people or whatever she was going to do. Then that 18-wheeler came by and hit Angie, and just from the force of that just flew her over on the grass and median. Took Angie's body on down the road with it, rolling in the wheels. Okay? But you're okay. Then you could hear a scream, somebody screaming, and you realize that was your daughter sitting in the car, trying to get out of the car, something screaming, and you rush over to her. You went toward the sound, which was your daughter. You get to your daughter, and you tell her to get back in the car. And then that's when you realize Angela's no more sitting on the side of the road, because she got hit by the 18-wheeler. So if you get hit by an 18-wheeler, you're mincemeat. Don't make no sense, girl. But your body arrives in a bag. Oh, it do say that. It do say she arrived in a bag several times in this report. I'm not sure that I just overskipped it or what. But anyway, yeah. So how you going to do an electrocardiogram on somebody on their upper torso when their upper torso is somewhere down the road with the 18-wheeler, under the 18-wheeler? Or your body involved to the scene and 2 hours later, and it's cold, because they did say the body was cold. So if the body is cold, that means doctors and stuff already know what that means. See, I'm not even a doctor, and I can tell you that. And we already talked about the cardiovascular system here. Okay. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to see something where they're going to talk about the body being brought in a bag. No, we're going to go ahead and skip that. At least y'all got a chance to see it, right? Okay, this Edward A. Reddy, PhD, MD, Alabama Department of Forensic Science, Montgomery, Alabama. And you see the case date 3/1, start date 4/1, report date, and all this here stuff. But then this is where they talking about Angie Stone's blood. Their evidence analyzed, including sub-items, the specimen, the analyze, the results, the method, and the notes. Now, what the 1H1 and 1H3 and 1H2 and 1H4 stands for, I didn't look that up because, like I said, I'm trying to get ready for bed. And we can go more in depth on this, but I just want to get it out to let you all know the autopsy has been reported. It's released, should I say. We got the autopsy report. And not just that, the autopsy and the what's the other one? Toxicology report. And you see what they 1H2, the second row down, the blood. Okay, what do they have ethanol there? Then 1H2 again on the blood, it said drug. They got some letters over here to the right on the method. Am I going to look those up right now? No. But if I understand, ethanol is it could be one of two things. It could be like pure liquor, pure alcohol, 99% to 100%. Or it could be like fuel that's harmful to greenhouse gas emissions when you use ethanol fuel. So I don't know which one they're talking about. Whether they're talking about the alcohol, the liquor, or they're talking about the greenhouse gases. Maybe I will find out when I look at those letters. But I'm not doing that, like I said. But they didn't put nothing down here under the notes, did they? Okay, second page here. They got the same thing. Footnote, not analyzed. Something is not analyzed. Non-detective, something is non-detective. They didn't say what. Seemed like they would go over to the side, over to the right side and put it where, so we'll know. Evidence was received in a plastic bag. Remember I told you that something? Now what was received in a plastic bag? Was it her insides, her heart, her liver, her kidneys, and all that, eyeballs? I don't know. Or was it her body received in a plastic bag? They didn't say. It would be good to know. The scope of the analysis was limited to the following. I hope they give us more detail because that didn't help me at all. Oops, that disappeared. That was Oh, it just disappeared. Okay, let me take this down and see what's going on. Guys, that just disappeared. Okay, well, at least the other page is there. Let me pull it up. Evidence was received in a plastic bag. Okay, what evidence? Was it the body, the full body intact? Or was it body parts? Or was it the inside, like the heart, the liver, and the kidneys, and all this here stuff, and the eyeballs, and stuff like that? I don't know. So what was received in a plastic bag? Medical people may know, but I don't know. Some people like me don't know. Okay, let's see about the scope. They got that ethanol again here. I'm not reading all of those. I see something that says tramadol down here. I'm not reading all that. For a more detailed description of the scope and the analyst, please visit the ADFS website. Now, y'all can visit that website if you like. It's right there. All you have to do is just write it down and take a snapshot of that website. Okay? Remaining evidence will be disposed 6 months from the date of this report, unless storage space become limited or an alternate arrangements are made prior thereto. Now, other remaining evidence within the next 6 months. Okay, we'll be waiting for 6 months. That'll be sometime when it's cold, guys, so don't be looking for anything right now. And then you can see the seal, the ANAB, accredited. One department, one goal, excellence. Okay, but y'all didn't give us everything that we needed. Okay, I didn't get everything. Let me see if there's any more pages left. Oh yeah, there's one more. There's another page left. Oh, that's one page we already went over. With that back in the anus. I'm not reading over that again. We did that. And let me just see, do I have one more page left? That page was removed. It disappeared. I don't know what happened. But anyway, that's it, guys. Okay, went over it. 1 hour and 27 minutes. At least y'all know the autopsy is back. You all can read it yourself. And you can look up those codes on your own as well, because I'm not going to do that. Okay? I'll do it in another. I am going to go back over this later on, and give y'all the updates on those things, those little codes, things I said I wasn't going to do. Okay? But not tonight. Okay? But I do want to say for all my hard work, can y'all go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. All right? Let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to go ahead and that was the update for Angie Stone on her pathology report and her autopsy. All right, Angie Stone. There we go. And I don't know what this one was talking about. Y'all can look at the van, the Sprinter van, and the truck and see how it don't make no sense. That big crack over the driver's side windshield looked like somebody. But if she was sitting down, how did she pop up in the window? If she was sitting down on the grass, she would just got mowed over by the tires and everything and be under the truck. That don't make no sense. And that both things are damaged on the same side. Don't make no sense, guys. And these two things here, that obviously don't make no sense either. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and say good night. Okay? And prayers go out to Angela's family, especially Michael Damon. He lost a doggone mind. on social media. But anyway, but y'all pray for her anyway. All right, and her grandkids. And I'm not gonna say nothing about that woman up in that house. Because y'all know I don't believe up in there. She shouldn't be there. But I ain't got I'll say that another day because I'm trying to go to bed. Okay, guys. Y'all know what I like to do. It's time for me to go. So I'm gonna do what I always do. I'm gonna go ahead and leave. All right. Thank you all and you have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.